Hello everyone, welcome to this particular video. In this particular video, we'll be discussing about strings in Python. As of now, we have seen strings is a data type inside Python. See, strings is a very big concept inside Python. So with the help of string, we can do lots of things. And whenever you will be learning data science, whenever you'll be working with the natural language processing, you'll be working with the text. So this particular concept will help you a lot. So in this particular video, we'll be deep diving into this particular string concept. We'll see different string operation, string slicing, string method, okay, string manipulation, everything we'll be learning in this particular video. So this is going to be one end-to-end discussion on the string concept inside Python. So make sure you are watching this particular video till the end. So let's get started with our video. So guys, as you can see, strings are nothing but it's a sequence of characters. Let's say my name is Bappy. So to write this particular Bappy word, I use some of the character, let's say B-A-P-P-Y, right? So this is called actually sequence of character. Okay, so whenever you are using sequence of character, this is called strings inside Python. So here I have given a definition. You can see in Python especially strings are the sequence of Unicode character. So why it is Unicode character? See, it is different from other programming language. In other programming language, they use something called ASCII character. If you have learned C, C++, I think you know what is ASCII character, right? But they're using something called Unicode character, because in the memory representation, this particular Unicode character can store more character altogether, right? So if you want to learn more about this particular Unicode, so there is a beautiful Python documentation. You can check this particular documentation and you can read it. Okay, they have written one amazing topic on top of this particular Unicode. You can read about it. So if you just search over Google Unicode Python documentation, you will get this particular actually documentation link. You can open up and you can read about this particular Unicode. So guys, you can see in this particular string concept, so these are the topic actually we'll be covering one by one. You can see, first of all, we'll be learning how to create a string. Then we'll be seeing accessing the string, okay, through the index. Then we'll be learning adding the character to the strings, editing the strings, how to delete the strings. Then we'll be learning how we can perform different operation on top of this particular strings. Then we'll be also learning about string functions. So string having some of the inbuilt function, we'll be also learning about that. Okay, one by one, each and everything we'll be covering of this particular string concept inside the Python. So if you just complete this particular lecture, so I think there won't be any kinds of doubt about the strings, and you'll be more familiar with this particular string concept. So let's discuss our first concept, which is nothing but creating a strings, like how we can create a strings. So guys, you can see there are so many ways we can create a strings. As I already discussed whenever I was discussing about data types, that inside that particular concept, I also discussed how we can define a string type data. So you can see we can define string type data inside a single quote or double quote, actually quotation. Okay, you can see this is a single quote, single quotation, and this is the double quotation. Okay, so both can be used. You can use both of them, but there is some difference between this particular single quote and double quote. I'll tell you why people will be using double quote sometimes, why they will be using single quote sometimes. There is a reason actually behind it. So let me first of all explain this particular part. So I'll take a new code cell here, and here what I will do, I'll just write a string here. So let's say I'll just write it's my car. Okay, let's say this is a string. Now see, instead of giving in the double quotation, if I give a single quotation here, see what will happen. Okay, see here I'm giving a single quotation. Okay, instead of double quotation, I've given a single quotation. Now if I execute this particular string, you'll see that this particular code will give you error. So this particular string is giving error. Why? Because you can see inside that I'm using another single quotation. Now let's say instead of giving this particular single quotation, if I give the double quotation right now, see this particular string will work fine. Okay, so that's why sometimes actually you will be using this particular double quotation, sometimes you will be using single quotation. But see, this would be my suggestion. Whenever you are defining any kinds of string, try to define in a double quotation. It would be better for you, so it can support all kinds of string. Okay, so that's why actually you can use this particular double quotation. You can also define a string inside a triple quotation. Okay, triple quotation in a single triple quotation as well as the double triple quotation. Okay, both. But I will suggest try to use this particular double triple quotation whenever you are defining any kinds of string. And why triple quotation? Because it's a multi-line string. So whenever you are defining any kinds of multi-line string, that time actually you can use this particular triple quotation. Otherwise, what will happen? Let me give you another example. Let's say here I will just write my name is Bappy. I am teaching Python. So let's say this is a multi-line string. Okay, I'm defining. Now if I execute this particular program, you'll see that it will throw you error. because you can see here you have written a new line. Okay, so if you are having this kinds of multi-line string, what you can do, you can use triple quotation. Okay, triple quotation you can use to define this particular string. Now see, if I give triple quotation, now if I execute, it will work fine. Okay, it will work fine. So that's why try to use this particular triple quotation whenever you are having multi-line string. Okay, so you can also use this particular string method to define the string. Okay, let's say this is one string I'm having in a single quotation hello. Now if I'm using this particular string method, now see, if I execute this particular program, it will also convert this particular text to a string. Okay, that's how also you can use. But we don't use this particular like method. See, we use this particular method whenever we want to do the type casting operation. Let's say if there is any other type data. Let's say we are having a data type. Let's say a is equal to, let's say 23. Okay, now I want to convert this particular 23 to a string. So what I can do, I can use this particular str method that time. Okay, str method, inside that if I pass my a, now see, it will convert to string. Okay, that time actually we'll be using this particular method. Okay, but whenever we are defining any kinds of string, whenever we're creating any kinds of string, we'll be following these are the approach. Okay, I think this part is clear. So guys, I hope this particular part is clear, like how we can create a strings. There are different way actually we can define the string. Now the next concept we'll be discussing about accessing the string through index. See, whenever I'm talking about this particular accessing a string, that means here you can access substring from a string. Let's say you are having a string, you can access some part of that particular string, okay, through the index. So let's say here I'm having one string, let's say a is equal to, or let's say s is equal to. So here I will just write welcome to Python. So let's say this is a string, okay, I'm having. Whenever you write any kinds of a string, by default Python will assign some of the index number here. Okay, how? Let me just write down one by one. So Python will assign this kinds of string. So this particular w will consider as 0, then e would be considered as 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, then this space would be considered as 7, 8, 9, then it would be 10, and so on. Okay, so that's how actually it will assign this particular index, okay, with this particular string. Okay, and we can easily use this particular index to take out this particular character, or let's say word from this particular entire string. Okay, how? Let me just show you. Now let's see, if I want to take this particular w out. Okay, if I want to take this particular w out, what I can do? What is the w index? You can see it's 0. Okay, now if I just mention 0 here, if I just mention 0 here, see, w will come out. Okay, w will come out. I can easily access this particular w. You can also use print function to print this particular statement. See, w it is showing, right? Now let's say I want to access this particular e. So now what is the index of e? It's 1. Now I can give 1 here. See, I can easily take this particular e. Now let's say I want to access this particular p. Now guys, please pause this particular video and comment like what would be the index number here. So let me show you. If I want to access this particular p, so this would be the index. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if you give 11 here, it will access this particular p. Okay, now see. Now if I give, let's say 50 here, now what would be the output? If I give 50 here, what would be the output? See, if I execute this particular program, it will throw me error. It will tell in string index out of range. It is telling 50 index is not there. So whatever string you have defined, it is less than actually 50 index. Okay, 50 is not there. That's why it's out of range. Okay, so that's why you always need to take care about the length of this particular string. Okay, if you want to check the length of a string, how we can do it? You can check this, you can use this particular length function. Inside that, you can give a string. Okay, it will give you the length. So you can see the total length size of this particular string is 17, but here I have given 15. Here I have given 50. That's why it's not working. Okay, so that thing actually you have to always take care. So this is called accessing string. Okay, now let's see if I want to take this particular word out. Let's say I want to access multi string. Let's say multi character. Okay, that time actually which concept I can use? Okay, this is called actually slicing. This is called actually string slicing. So let me just write string slicing. But before discussing this particular string slicing, first of all, I want to tell you two more concepts. See, the string access actually you have applied here. Okay, the string access you have applied here. This is called actually positive accessing. Okay, positive access, because here you can see I'm giving the positive index. Okay, every time positive index. Okay, I can also access this particular character with the help of negative index as well. Let me show you. First of all, let me clear the board. See, if I want to access this particular string through negative, so let me just comment here. Now we'll be learning about negative indexing, or I can also mention negative indexing. See, whenever you are talking about negative indexing, that means it will start the indexing from the last. Okay, that means the index will look like that: -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. So it will go this direction. Okay, but previously you can see it was going in the positive indexing, it was going this direction. Okay, whenever you are going right direction, you are using positive. Okay, positive indexing. Okay, positive indexing. And whenever you are going actually left direction, you are using something called negative indexing. Okay, negative indexing. This is the idea. And whenever you are using negative indexing, you have to use this particular minus symbol. Okay, minus symbol everywhere. Now let me show you one example. So let me first of all clear. Let's say if I want to access this particular n in the positive index, what I have to write? I have to write 16 here. I think you remember. Just count. You will see that it will be 16 number index. Now see, if I print it, you will see this particular n. But with the help of negative indexing, I can easily access this particular n. Okay, how? So instead of giving the positive index, I will give -1, because you can see -1 will assign here. Okay, I already told you, if you are using negative index, -1 will assign here, then -2, 3, 4, and so on. So you can see n is present at the index of -1. Now if I execute this particular code, see, n would be accessed. Okay, that means I can access this particular n. Now let's see, if I want to access this particular o, I'll just write -2. Okay, I'll just write -2. See, o will print it. Okay, so that's how actually with the help of this particular negative index, you can easily also access the let's say character, okay, from the last position. Okay, from the last position of a string. You can use either use the positive indexing, I can use the negative indexing. It's up to you. Someone will prefer the positive indexing, someone will prefer the negative indexing. Okay, that's the idea. Now I'll be discussing about the string slicing. Let's say if I want to access multi-string, okay, multi-string from a string, how we can do it. Okay, so for this actually we can use this particular string slicing approach. So let's say I'll copy the same example, and here I'll just paste it. Okay, let's say this is my string. Now let's say I want to take this particular welcome. Okay, welcome word from this particular string. So how we can do it? So I'll be using the similar concept. I'll just write print s. I'll use this particular square bracket, and now see, first of all, try to count the index. Let's say w is starting from 0. Okay, w is starting from 0, and it is ending 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is ending 6. Now see, if I give 6 here, so what will happen? If I give 6 here, what will happen? See, it will print till welcome. Okay, e is not coming. Why? Because I already told you in Python, last number would be always excluded. Okay, that's why you need to take one additional number. Okay, you need to take one additional number. You have to take 7 here. Now if I say 7, now see, this particular e would be also printed, because last index would be always excluded in Python. So that's why you have to take one number extra here. Okay, that's the idea. If you're taking 7, that means it will go till 6. If you're taking 8, it will go till 7. Okay, that is the idea. Now you can see I can easily extract this particular welcome word from this particular entire string. This is called string slicing. And how to slice? So this is the syntax to slice. Okay, you have to use this particular clone symbol, and before the clone, whatever actually index value you are giving, this is called lower index, and whatever index you are giving, okay, after that it is called upper index. And this is also called range. You are giving a range parameter here. I think you remember in loop also we learned this particular concept. In the range function, I was to define this particular range parameter. Okay, like what would be the value you want to generate. Okay, so this is called range parameter. So this is my lower range, this is my upper range. Now let's say I want to extract this particular Python. Okay, I want to extract this particular Python, so I can easily do it. I'll copy this particular statement and just try to count the index. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So from 11, my P is starting, and it is going till 16. Now see, whenever I'm giving 16, n is not coming, because I already told you we have to give one additional number. Yeah, now actually n will come. Okay, that's the idea. Now here you can also slice like that. Let's say whenever I'm writing print, let's say if I'm giving this particular statement, I'll just write 0, this particular clone, and I'm not writing anything. I'm not giving this particular upper range. Okay, I'm not giving this particular upper range. So what will happen? See, if I execute this particular program, you'll see that all this string would be printed. Okay, welcome to Python. Why? Because you can see it is starting from 0. And here you haven't given anything. That means you haven't mentioned that particular upper range. That means it will consider till end. Whenever you are not giving anything, it will consider till end. Okay, it will automatically consider that particular number. Let's say you want to print till the end of this particular string. Okay, so that's why everything would be printed. Now let's say if I give 1 here. If I give 1 here, now if I execute this particular program, you will see that now it will start from here. you can see it will start from this particular 1 index. So 0, 1. Okay, from 1 actually it will print everything. So you can also skip this particular part. You can also skip this particular actually upper range. Okay, still it will work. So similar wise, you can also skip this particular lower range as well. Let's say if I'm not giving anything in the lower range, and let's say in the upper range I'm giving, let's say 4. What will happen? See, it will print this particular. So let me copy that particular string again. Now you can see that it will only print this particular C. Okay, C, because whenever you are not giving anything in the lower range, it will start from 0. Automatically it will start from 0 and it will go till 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 would be excluded. It will print till 3. Okay, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3. That means C would be printed. Okay, that means you can also skip this particular lower range value as well. And if you are not giving this particular value, it will consider as 0 automatically. Okay, you can also mention like that. Let's say if I'm not giving any kinds of, let's say, lower range and upper range here, what will happen? See, if I execute this particular program, again it will consider the entire string, because here it will automatically take 0 and here it will automatically take the last number of that particular string. Okay, that's why all the messages would be printed all together. That's how actually you can also perform the string slicing. And these are some way actually I'm telling you. Okay, these are some way actually I'm telling you, because whenever you will be playing with this particular string, whenever you will be manipulating this particular string, so these are the concept will help you a lot. Okay, that's the idea. Now here you can also take the jump parameter, like we also used in the range function. I think, remember, we used to take the jump parameter, right? So let's say I'll give you one example. Let's say I'm starting from 0 and I'm going till, let's say, 5. Okay, I'm going till 5. So what will it print? It will print welcome. So let's say I want to go till 7. Okay, it will print the welcome message. Fine. So here you can also take a jump parameter. So if I give this particular jump parameter as 2, what will happen? It will skip one number. First of all, it will see, if I execute this particular program, you'll see that first of all it will print W. Okay, it will print W. E, it is ignoring because of this particular jump parameter. If jump is equal to 2, it will ignore one character. Okay, now see, L would be printed, C is ignoring, then O would be printed, then you can say M is ignoring and E would be printed. Okay, so that means it is jumping one character. It is jumping one character every time. So W, then L, then O, then E. This is called jump parameter. So if I give 3, so it will jump 2 character. Okay, now you can see it will jump 2 character. First of all, it will print W, 2 character will jump, then C, then again 2 character will jump, then E. I hope this part is clear. The same actually jump parameter used to use in the range function. Here also you can use this particular jump parameter. Now you can give any kinds of parameter here and you can play with this particular string. Okay, this particular concept would be more clear. Now let me tell you another amazing thing inside string slicing. So let's say I want to extract, let me just write down this particular statement. So let's say I want to extract 1 to 7. Okay, 1 to 7. So it will give me L come. Okay, ELCOM come. Okay, now let's say I want to print this particular like a string in a reverse way. Okay, how I can do it? I can easily do it. So I'll be using this particular statement that time. I'll just write. Now in this particular parameter you have to give -1. Okay, here you have to give -1 because here I have to print this particular statement in a reverse way. Okay, I want to print this particular string in a reverse way, and whenever you are giving reverse way, that means you have to use minus indexing. That's why here you are giving -1. That means I want to print everything in a reverse way. Now see, if I execute this particular program, see, there is no output because see, whenever you are working with reverse, okay, whenever you are working with reverse, that means minus indexing, make sure always the first range would be higher than your lower. Okay, so here you have to do the opposite of it. So here 7 will come and here 1 will come. That means your lower range should be higher and higher range should be lower whenever you are working with negative index that time. Now see, if I execute this particular program, so see, whenever I execute this particular program, this particular string would be reversed. Okay, you can see, first of all E will come, then M, then O, then C, then L, then E. E is not coming because here I have to give 0 because I told you last number would be excluded. That's why you have to increase the number. Okay, now you can see E is also coming. So that's actually I can easily do the reverse operation. Okay, I can easily do the reverse operation if I want to perform this particular reverse string operation. So here I have to take this particular minus indexing that time, and whenever I'm defining this particular range, so first parameter would be high and the second parameter would be low. Always try to remember, this is the hack to remember this particular concept. Okay, so whenever you are working with negative index, always remember your lower range should be higher and higher range should be lower. Now you can ask me, instead of giving -1, if I give -2, what will happen? See, if I give -2, see, it will do the reverse operation only, but it will skip one number. That means it will jump one number. Now you can see, first of all, it is skipping E, it is printing M, then it is skipping 0, it is jumping 0, it is printing C, and then it is printing L, and it is printing E. That's how actually it will jump. Okay, it will jump one character. If you give -3, it will jump 2 character. Okay, that's how actually it will be working. I hope this part is clear. Now, if you're thinking, let's say I want to reverse this particular entire string. Instead of doing the slicing, I want to reverse this particular entire string. So how we can do it? You can easily do it. So for this, you can use this particular statement. So you don't need to give anything here. Okay, so this is like very famous piece of code. People will be using whenever they want to perform any reverse string operation. That time people will be using. Okay, now see, if I execute this particular program, now see, this particular string would be reversed. First of all, N will come, then O, then H, then T. Okay, and so on. So here you are not giving anything. Lower you are not giving anything, higher you are not giving anything. Okay, that means you are telling the entire string. Okay, the entire string 0 to 16, I want to perform the reverse operation. So you can see the reverse operation. Fine. Now if you are giving, let's say -2, that means it will jump one character. It will jump one character. If you give 3, it will jump 2 character. That's how it will be working. So we have seen like how we can perform this particular slicing operation with the help of positive indexing. We can also perform the same thing with the help of negative indexing as well. So let me show you some of the example. So this is the example of negative indexing. See, let's say I want to take this particular Python out. Okay, I want to take this particular Python out. So what I can do, I can use this particular negative indexing as well. Okay, now just try to count. You can see if I want to take the Python out, so I will if I'm using negative index, that means I need to count from the last. That means it would be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. That means it will start from -6. Okay, it will start from -6. I don't need to take the jump parameter as of now. Then I want to go till -1. So if I give -1, now if I print this particular statement, you will see that Python would be printed. Okay, N is not getting printed because here you have to give 0, because last number would be excluded always, right? Now see, okay, you have to give. See, if you are giving -0, it won't be working because last index is always -1. So you don't need to give anything. You can keep this particular part empty. You can keep this particular part empty. Now see, it will print this particular Python statement. Okay, this is the idea. Now let's say I want to print this particular Python in a reverse. Okay, in a reverse actually way. So how we can do it with the help of negative indexing? So we'll just write -1 because it is starting from -1. You can see. I'll go till 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, -6, and here I have to give this particular minus parameter. Okay, that means I want to print as a reverse way. Okay, now you can see this is getting printed, but it is starting from here because you can see here I have given -6. I have to give -7 here. Okay, now see, it is printing successfully. Now first of all, N will come, then O will come, then T, then H, and Y, and P. Okay, so that's how actually you can also do the reverse operation with the help of negative indexing. Okay, I hope this part is clear. You can play with different string. I think this part will be more clear. See, unless and until you are not doing hands-on on top of it, it would be a little bit difficult for you. So please try to do the hands-on, try to take a string and try to perform this particular slicing operation. And trust me guys, whenever you will be working with different projects in future, definitely inside NLP, this particular concept will help you a lot. And here one thing I think you have noticed, so whenever I'm using negative index, I'm using the bigger number at the very first. Okay, then the smaller number. You can see here -1 is a bigger than -7. This thing you have to always remember if you are working with negative indexing. So yes, this is all about our string slicing. So guys, now let's discuss about this particular adding character to a string and editing a string and deleting a string, this particular topic. So for this, I'm going to use this particular same example. I'll copy this particular example and here I'm going to paste it. So let's say here I want to add some character to this particular string. Is it possible? So let me show you. So if I just write this particular statement, let's say in this particular string, let's say in the first position, that means in the 0 index, I want to add one character. Let's say I want to add one character. The character, let's say I want to add called A. Okay, now let's say if I just write this particular statement, so what will happen? Just pause this particular video and try to comment and tell me what will be the output. So let me show you. If I execute this particular program will tell you string object does not support item assignment. Okay, string object does not support item assignment. That means you can't add any kinds of character to a string. So once you have defined any kinds of a string, later on you can't add anything in that particular string. It's not possible. Okay, so that is why we call this particular string as immutable. Okay, we call this particular string as immutable. Immutable means we can't change anything. Once we have defined one string, we can't change anything in that particular string. Okay, this is called immutable. Okay, immutable means it is unchangeable. Okay, you can't change anything. Always try to remember, guys, because this particular immutable word will be using a lot going forward. Whenever we'll be learning different data type like list, tuple and all, we'll be using this particular word a lot, right? So immutable means it's unchangeable. You can't change anything inside that particular string. Okay, it's not possible. Now you can ask me, let's say I don't want to add anything inside this particular string, but I want to modify something. Now let's say you are thinking, let's say I want to edit this particular let's say E with any other character. Is it possible? Now let me show you. So if I copy this particular statement, so what is the E index? It's you can say 1. Okay, it's 1. Now let's say I want to change this particular E with any other character. Let's say, okay, I want to change with A. Now if I again execute this particular program, it will give you same error. That means you can't also edit this particular string. Whatever character you are having, you can't also edit it. Okay, this is called actually immutable. That means string is immutable. Okay, it's not mutable. Mutable means you can change, and immutable means you can't change anything inside a string. That is the idea. So this is what actually our adding character and editing a string. Now let's try to see the deleting a string. Okay, like how we can delete any kinds of character from a string, whether it's possible or not. So for this, I'm going to use the same example. I'll copy, and here I'll just try to paste it. Okay. Now let's say I want to delete this particular W from this particular string. So first of all, I have to extract this particular W. To extract the W, you can write this particular statement, because you can see I'm giving the index 0, and whenever I'm executing, it is extracting the W. Now let's say I want to delete this particular W. So in Python, we're having one keyword called del. Okay, del keyword. So with the help of this particular del keyword, we can delete anything. Okay, now see, if I execute this particular program, again it will tell you a string does not support any kinds of item deletion. Previously it was telling string does not support item assignment. That means you can add anything, you can edit anything. Now it is telling you can't delete anything also. That means it is not support any kinds of modification inside a string. Okay, because it's a immutable. Any kinds of editing, any kinds of deletion, you can't do inside a string. Okay, it's not possible. Always try to remember this particular concept. But one thing actually you can do, let's say if I want to delete this particular entire variable, this particular string object, I can do it. So let's say I'll copy this particular S. Okay, now if I delete this particular S, okay, now if I again print this particular S, okay, see, it would be deleted. S is not defined. That means this particular object has deleted, not the string has deleted. Okay, object has deleted. Always try to remember, it's not a deletion of a string, it's a object deletion we are doing. This particular variable we are deleting. Okay, if I comment this particular line, see, this particular variable would be printed, but if I delete it, this variable would be deleted. That's why it's telling name S is not defined. Okay, I hope you got it. So these are like very important concept inside a string, and 2 more topics are left, I think. Let me show you. So operation in string and string function. So we'll be discussing this particular 2 part in our next video, and I think this particular concept is clear. Now we can practice. Just take a different string and try to practice. Okay, then this particular concept will be more clear. So yes, guys, this is all about from this particular concept. I hope you like this particular video. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this particular video, and I will see you next time.